The Lendians were a West Slavic tribe who lived in the area of East Lesser Poland and Cherven towns between the 7th and 11th centuries. Since they were documented primarily by foreign authors whose knowledge of Eastern European geography was often vague, numerous speculations have accrued to the name, which include Lendzanenoi, Lendzaninoi, Lz'njn, Lachy, Landzaneh and Lendizi. The name Lz'njn was derived from Proto-Slavic and Old Polish word lida, meaning field. In modern Polish language the word lad still exists, which means land. The name of tribe Lz'njn comes from slash and burn agricultural technique which involved cutting and burning of forests or woodlands to create fields. Accordingly, in this meaning a Lendian was a farmer, wood burner. The Lendians also left the mark in Polish names such as Lachy Sadecki, which was an endonym used by Poles in southeastern Poland. The northeastern region of Podlaski signifies under the Poles, with the Lithuanian name for the region Palenka having the same meaning. Tribal area. Constantine VII reports that in the year 944 Lendians were tributaries to the Rus and that the Monoxylae sailed under Prince Vladislav downstream to Kiev to take part in the naval expeditions against Byzantium. This may be taken as an indication that the Lendians had access to some waterways leading to the Dnieper, e.g., the Star River. Actually, these Lendians were the Radomichi, settled between Soj and Dnieper upstream from Kyiv. The primary chronicle twice notes them as being of like origin. They migrated to the Dnieper basin sometime during the 8th c. Based on Constantine's report, it appears likely that the Lendians occupied the historical region of Chervona Rus, centered on Przemysl. This conclusion is at variance with the primary chronicle, which implies that the region was settled by the White Croats. In order to remove the perceived discrepancy, some Polish historians proposed alternative readings of the text in question, which would move the location of the White Croats considerably to the east, for instance, to the Vorskla River basin. The uncertainty of extant 10th century descriptions of the upper Dniester and Bug River region makes it plausible to infer that the White Croats, Lendians and probably some other peoples shared this vast territory along the border of modern-day Ukraine and Poland. Attempts to positively identify the Lendians with the Buzhanzadulibis lose in probability in light of these considerations. Lendians versus Lachy. Lendians are often considered to be a tribe that the Ruthenian chronicles referred to as Lachy. The Hypatian Codex, however, states the following, which translates as the Slavs who came and settled along Wisla and were called Liakov, from whom descended Lechitic Polans, Lutici, Masovians, and Pomeranians. After the Polish Piast dynasty united many West Slavic tribes, the ethnonym Lachy was used to refer to all those tribes and subsequently to the newly established Polish people. It was mainly an exonym, rarely used by Poles themselves in historic times, with the exception of the Lachy Sadecki, though one of the old Czech chronicles states that a legendary person named Lech was the founder of Poland. According to Safarik, the word Lech has its origin in a generic name, Lech, deriving from a Slavic word for furrow, trough, or field. According to Pyotr Lavrovsky, the contemporary, in the word Lech replaced a former nasal links with, which in Russian means clearing a Poznaniak. Clearing activities, during which sowing was conducted in places of cut down and burned forest, were common among the northwestern Slavs. Hence, Lavrovsky concludes that in ancient times the words Lech equals Lech referred to a person who conducted clearings, a farmer, or a landowner. History. In pre-Slavic times the region was populated by the Lugi and Anati, associated with the Przeworsk and Pukov cultures. They were followed by East Germanic tribes, the Goths and Vandals. After these vacated the territory, the West Slavs moved in. Around 833 the land of the Lendians was incorporated into the Great Moravian state. Upon the invasion of the Hungarian tribes into the heart of Central Europe around 899, the Lendians submitted to their authority. In the first half of the 10th century, they paid tribute to Igor I of Kiev. For the mid-950s onward, the Lendians were politically anchored in the Bohemian sphere of influence. Cosmas of Prague relates that the land of Krakow was controlled by the Przemyslads of Bohemia until 999. His report is buttressed by the Foundation Charter of the Archdiocese of Prague, which traces the eastern border of the archdiocese, as established in 973, along the Bug and Styr rivers. Abraham ben Jacob, who travelled in Eastern Europe in 965, remarks that Boleslaus II of Bohemia ruled the country, stretching from the city of Prague to the city of Krakow. At one point around 960, the region seems to have been taken over by Mieszko I of Poland. This may be inferred from the primary chronicle, which reports that Vladimir I of Kiev conquered the Cherven towns for the Poles in 981. The region returned to Polish sphere of influence in 1018, when Boleslaw I of Poland took the Cherven towns on his way to Kiev. Jaroslav I of Kiev reconquered the borderland in 1031, but was again ruled by Poland in 1069 to 1086. He remained part of Kievan Rus and its successor state of Halych-Volhynia until 1340, when it was once again taken over by Kingdom of Poland under Casimir III of Poland. It is presumed that the Lendians were assimilated by East Slavs by that period. The most important factors contributing to the fate could be linguistic and ethnic similarity, influence of Kievan Rus and Orthodox Christianity, deportations to central Ukraine by Yaroslav I the Wise after 1031, colonization by Ruthenians fleeing west during Mongol assaults on Ruthenia during reign of Danilo of Halych,